Mega Slowbro is about to leave the raids, and in its replacement is going to be Mega Gyarados from Thursday, June 17th, 10 a.m. local time until Friday, July 2nd, 10 a.m. local time. What is up, everybody? My name is FLW Videos, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about Mega Gyarados. Now, a lot of you have been asking me questions about past Pokemon that have come out. Am I ever going to do a deep dive on them? I honestly think that this is going to be the plan moving forward. Whenever a Pokemon gets reintroduced back into Pokemon Go, if I haven't already done a deep dive on it, I'm definitely going to do that and, of course, catch up. And I think Mega Gyarados is going to be a perfect example of that. This Pokemon was introduced into Pokemon Go, but I've simply not made a deep dive on it, so I'm very excited about this because I'm going to be learning a lot along the way. We're going to be taking a look at the regular Gyarados, Shadow Gyarados, and then, of course, Mega Gyarados, and talking about how good it performs, is it worth powering up, should you unlock a secondary charge move, and then, of course, how in the heck should you use Gyarados, because it has an incredibly dense moveset, which is definitely worth a conversation. But anyways, if you do enjoy this deep dive series, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So let's go ahead and learn a little bit more about Gyarados. I went ahead and put up both of them at the same time so we can talk about some cross comparisons. So first things first, we have an overall stat ranking of 67 for just the regular Gyarados, which is very impressive for a non-legendary Pokemon. But as you can see, it gets a major upgrade over to the Mega Gyarados, where it ends up having an overall stat ranking of 7th in Pokemon Go, which is just so impressive, so a major upgrade. Now, as far as the typing is concerned, it's important to mention that the flying type ends up getting dropped once you head over to the Mega Gyarados, and it ends up picking up the dark typing, which means there's going to be a ton of flexibility for your Gyarados in Pokemon Go. So it's, of course, worth the conversation to figure out exactly how you should utilize it. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. Now, as far as the regular Gyarados is concerned, the stamina stat's actually the highest rank. And if you go ahead and check this out, you can see that Mega Gyarados actually retains a very good stamina stat from the regular Gyarados, and then also ends up getting a major upgrade from the attack stat, which is at 237 up to 292, which is what we like to see in Pokemon Go. And then the defense stat is its worst rank for the regular Gyarados, but it ends up getting upgraded to a 247, which is ranked at 29th in Pokemon Go, so a major upgrade. And then finally, if you take a look at the CPs, we're going from 3,879 up to 5,396, so very impressive on that Mega Gyarados. But of course, this is just the overall stats for these Pokemon, so let's go ahead and take a look at the relative ranks. So we're going to go ahead and start with just the regular Gyarados here, where we're comparing against those water types as well as the flying type. So its best stats actually fall into the water typing, where it's ranked at 7th overall compared to 126 water type Pokemon. Flying type is a little bit more relevant because it simply doesn't have any flying type moves made available to it. So a lot of people, of course, use it from the water typing and potentially as a pseudo dragon type because it has some great moves available from that dragon typing. But anyways, you can go ahead and take a look at it. As far as the water types are concerned, the attack stat is leading the pack. But of course, if we head over to Mega Gyarados, we can see that versus water types, it's actually ranked as the top water type Pokemon in Pokemon Go, which is very impressive. The attack stat is leading the pack at 2nd. Defense stat's actually super good as well. And then finally, if you go ahead and move down to those dark types, compared to the 59 dark types, it ends up being ranked at 2nd overall. So that is also very impressive for this Mega Gyarados here. And then, of course, its defense and attack are once again leading the pack, but its stamina is actually very good as well. So, of course, Mega Gyarados is looking good. But anyways, we've talked about those relative stats. So let's go ahead and get into the actual moveset. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, it is so confusing. I mean, there have been very few episodes where I've had to kind of utilize this space to fit in all of the moves. But as far as the movesets are concerned, Bite is going to be one that we will take a look at, as well as Waterfall. And then if we go ahead and look at some of those charge moves, Crunch is going to be one to look at, Hydro Pump as well. And then when you go ahead and take a look at the elite charge moves, Aqua Tail is actually going to be pretty good for PvP, so that's something that we will explore. But then beyond all of this, you're seeing just so many dragon type moves that are very interesting and at least worth the conversation, and I will have it towards the end, but that's not going to be the main focus here. So anyways, let's go ahead and dive into the raid simulations. So first things first, let's go up against an Entei. So this is going to highlight the water typing. So we actually get a chance to see the regular Gyarados, Shadow Gyarados, Mega Gyarados all in one. And if you go ahead and take a look at it, we can see that Mega Blastoise actually takes over the #1 position. So that's actually something kind of interesting. If Mega Blastoise ends up performing better and has the same number of feints as Mega Gyarados, that could mean that it may make more sense to dedicate your Gyarados over to the dark typing potentially. But of course, we'll take a look at that. But as you can see, we've got Mega Gyarados here in at the 3rd position, actually getting beat by a Shadow Swampert, which is just insane. Kudos to that Shadow Swampert. But yeah, Mega Gyarados in at the 3rd position. Then if we go ahead and scroll down to that number 6 spot, we can see that Shadow Gyarados actually makes it to the top of the list, going up against that Entei here. But unfortunately, you're not seeing the regular Gyarados. That just really comes down to the fact that it's competing against some just super incredible Pokemon. So unfortunately, regular Gyarados not going to be worth it from the raid side as far as water typing is concerned. And then of course, like we talked about, because it doesn't have flying type moves, the regular Gyarados isn't going to be able to compete from that flying type. But anyways, let's go ahead and move over to a second raid where we're going to go ahead and take a look at the dark typing. So of course we can go ahead and discuss this. So we're going up against a Mesprit here. And you can see that another Pokemon like Mega Houndoom is actually taking over one of the top positions for a Mega Pokemon that is of the Dark type. And then you've also got Mega Gengar here, but Mega Gengar faints a ton. So you have to actually scroll all the way down to the 11th position before you finally find yourself a Mega Gyarados. And as far as one of the advantages is concerned, it is around the number of feints. If you go ahead and compare to all of the other Pokemon on this list, having only 12 feints is actually the lowest out of these top 12 when you're going up against a Mesprit, for example. So Mega Gyarados may not be the top performer as far as the dark type attacker is concerned, but it ends up playing a very good support role. You could argue that it ends up doing better than Mega Houndoom here for the fact that it does end up fainting less, meaning that it stays in the fight for longer. And if it stays in the fight for longer, it's able to give off that extra damage bonus to fellow dark type attackers. So pretty impressive as far as Mega Gyarados is concerned as a dark type attacker. So anyways, let's go ahead and head into the PvP section. For PvP, you're finally going to get to see a dragon type move here with Dragon Breath. And then you also have the exclusive move of Aqua Tail, which is going to require an elite charge TM. And then finally, you've got the move Crunch. So this is actually for the Masters League, and it's in just the regular Masters League, so powered up to level 50. And this is where the ranking ends up being the best. So it actually ends up being ranked at 7th in Pokemon Go for that Master League, which is very impressive for a non-legendary Pokemon. So to some extent, a little bit more affordable than most. So hopefully you can get out there, get yourself one if you are interested in the PvP side. And then as far as how to actually use it, it ends up working really great as a switch, really great as a lead, and then really great as a charger. So you actually have a lot of flexibility with this Pokemon. I've seen so many people use this Gyarados on the PvP side and have had a lot of fortune with it. But anyways, let's talk a little bit about what my plans are for Gyarados. So unfortunately, Gyarados just in general isn't the greatest raider anymore. It's just simply outclassed by many other Megas, many other legendary Pokemon. I think the Shadow Gyarados has at least some play. We end up seeing it ranked in that 6th position going up against Entei. So if you get yourself a Shadow Gyarados, consider powering it up. But of course, it can't Mega Evolve if you do that. So as far as my plans for Mega Gyarados is concerned, I really did like the performance from the water typing as well as the dark typing. And because this Pokemon is so common, I'm actually going to say to go ahead and get yourself 2 of them. That way you don't have to constantly TM or do anything like that, and just use your Mega Gyarados from both of the typings, of course, whenever it ends up playing the most benefit as a water type versus as a dark type attacker. But we're seeing just a lot of great things from Gyarados, so I would absolutely love to know what you think about Gyarados, Mega Gyarados, Shadow Gyarados. What exactly are you using your Gyarados for in Pokemon Go? I would absolutely love to hear it in the comments section below. So before we end the video, I actually want to give a really cool story about Shiny Gyarados in Pokemon Go. So for Pokemon Go Fest 2019, I actually ended up meeting the trainer club at the event, and we ended up just trading a couple of Pokemon to each other and ended up actually trading Shiny Magikarps to each other. We weren't lucky friends or anything like that, but that's actually what ended up happening. We ended up getting ourselves lucky Shiny Magikarps upon the trade that ended up being lucky, which was just so insane. And mine actually ended up being a 90-something%, which is just incredible. Like I said before, Shiny Gyarados is one of my favorite shiny Pokemon just in general. So to get myself a lucky version of it And then of course, for it to be with the Trainer Club, which is so iconic, a fellow creator, it's just too cool of a story for me to hold and not share with you. So anyways, I hope you do enjoy that. I feel like I've got to power it up at some point. It's been a couple years since I've revisited it, but of course doing this episode brought back a lot of fun memories of attending GoFest, and I figured I would go ahead and share that story. But anyways, I want to give a huge shout out to the supporters over at Patreon. Thank you so much for that. If you're interested in supporting the channel, go ahead and check out the link in the description. We added a new Discord server where we are coordinating for raids. We're talking about Pokemon Go, so if you want to connect with other Pokemon Go players, make sure to check out that link in the description, and I will see you next time.